Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to beautiful Birmingham Groves High School. Game one of a three-game season series set between the Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, welcoming you into today's broadcast. Groves Falcons come in with a record of 8-1. Their head coach is Sean Morrison, and he's alongside my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey.
All right, thank you, Brad. We are here now with Sean Morrison, the head coach of the Groves baseball team. Sean, how was your off season? Tell us about what you did. Did you go anywhere? Did you do anything fun?
Oh yeah, I went to the Dominican. It was good. Travel around. Actually, drove to Dallas and back about 3 weeks, and then we camper van through Utah. So, yeah, just hit it up, man. Got that little 2-year-old trying to show him the world. So.
He's been more places than I have already. Now we are on your new field.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
about the new field a little bit.
Well, it's starting to come together after last year. I mean, we played out here last year, but there was still a lot of construction. We've got the indoor cages here. We were able to get our banners put up this year. So little by little, we're chipping away and making it ours.
Yeah. Well, it looks fantastic on camera. I was looking at some of the monitors in the truck beforehand. Okay, so let's talk about your team. Fill us in on the 24 version of the Groves Falcons on the diamond.
Yeah, so we lost a lot of pitching depth from last year, and we returned most of our offense. Last year's offense didn't produce like we would have liked, but those guys grew, and they're definitely putting it together. Our offense is probably carrying us along with our pitching. So we've had a lot of guys just step up, and we're roping the ball right now, and we're pitching well as well. So we've been very fortunate. We started off 8-1. Our one loss was 2 outs in the extra innings, and our pitcher accidentally dropped the ball on the mound, and it was a walk-off balk loss. I've never seen that before or even heard of it. But outside of that, we're pretty unblemished. So this is a tough series. We got a lot of respect for Seaholm. They've put together a pretty solid production thus far, and they returned pretty much all their guys. So it's going to be a challenge today, but hopefully we're up for it.
Well, you're going to see a bunch of them in the next few days. So I wish you the best of luck. We'll wrap it up from down here for right now. Let you get back to your team. We'll be back with Coach Toth in just a moment. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Morrison and Andy. As for the Seaholm Maples, a perfect 5-0 start. District champions a season ago with a 4-3 victory over Brother Rice, and this team is playing really good baseball. They've only given up 3 runs in the 5 games so far this season. Their head coach, John Toth, is now alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, Brad, thank you again. We are now here with Seaholm Maple head coach John Toth. John, baseball, spring, renewal, you got to love it. How was your off season? Did you do anything fun?
A lot of golf. A lot of golf. Just love to golf, spend time. We did have a new baby. We do have a new baby. Yeah. I forgot about the baby. I should have did that. Don't show my wife this. They'll be here today. She's 4 months old now. So she was born in November. So now we got 3 kids, 5, 3, and 4 months. So it's cool.
Wow. The growing brood. I love it. Now we're here on Groves Field. They've had theirs going for a year or so. You guys are going to have the new field. We'll see Thursday. What's it been like playing on these new surfaces? Oh,
it's just amazing. You never have to cancel practice. Come get most of your games in. No bad hops, no anything in the place. I mean, you'll see when you come to see home, the place just looks, it's just incredible. Incredible. It's fun to be part of.
Looking forward to that, too. Now, this version of your team is possibly breaking records for all time's sake. Talk about your team. You've been having tremendous success to start the season, but give us the overview of where you're at.
This is it, man. State championship or bust. And we say that knowing we could lose to Groves in the district. We could lose to Troy, Berkeley, Royal Oak. Nothing's for granted. You have the exact same team back that beat Brother Rice in the districts. So why not? Why not shoot for all of it? I mean, you don't know how often these opportunities are going to come. So it's state championship or bust. And it's not pressure of state championship, just that's the goal. Everyone knows it, and that's what we want to do.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like Kirk Gibson talks about on the broadcast, positive self-talk, envision the goal. You need to, where you're aiming for, and I think that's a solid approach. So, well, good luck to you today. You do have these guys 3 times this week. I know the love that exists between both teams runs deep, and some respect, too, in there for good measure. But we'll wrap it up from down here. But don't go away. The first pitch is coming right up.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to Birmingham Groves. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Seaholm. Leading things off will be Jack Lewis. Batting second, the catcher, Aiden Wolfson. Batting third, the first baseman, Nick Schenenfeld. Cleaning things up will be the third baseman, Colton Kinney. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Grandin Kinney. Batting sixth will be the left fielder, Logan DeVos. Batting seventh, playing second base, will be Nick Davis. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, Louis Sullivan. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Jack Kelly. As for the Falcon defense around the infield, Hunter Tengler will play third base. Stephen Whitted will be the shortstop. Jake Rosenwasser will handle second base, and Cole Bronell-Cuthro will man first. The outfield, Benji Cook in left. Tyler Bronchek will be in center field, and John Ravella will patrol right. The battery today for the Falcons, Brady Vichizone behind the plate, and getting the start on the mound, Nathan Luckin. Luckin comes in with a record of 2-0, making his his second start of the season, fourth appearance. Has thrown 12 2/3 innings, has given up 6 hits, 5 runs, just 3 of which are earned. He has struck out 11, has walked 6, and has a ERA of 1.66. Nearly set to go, Andy Aubrey. Beautiful picture, perfect day here in Beverly Hills. Crystal clear blue skies, temperature right around 70 degrees.
Just perfect. Nice breeze out there, sunny skies, not a cloud in the sky, as a matter of fact.
What little breeze there is blowing out to right center field. We'll see if that plays a factor in this afternoon's ball game. Game 1 of a 3-game season series. 2 teams will play tomorrow as well. We'll have an off day on Wednesday, and then we'll pick things back up on Thursday. Jack Lewis, the center fielder, leading things off and takes a pitch outside. We are underway here. Falcons in their home white jerseys with that old English G on the chest. See them a little bit of an old school look, maroon jerseys. With Seaholm scripted across the front. Luckin misses on his first 2 pitches. 2 balls, no strikes, the count on Jack Lewis.
He's been cautious, Brad, to start this first inning off, and wisely so. These Seaholm lineup is filled with hitters.
Lewis takes a look at a called strike at the letters. 2-1 the count. Middle of the infield back. Third baseman Tengler plays even with the bag. Luckin operates directly in the middle of the rubber, misses high and outside, runs the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. Good hitter's count here for the leadoff man, Jack Lewis.
And a lot of familiar names at that on this Seaholm team. And Coach Toth is very appreciative of the fact that he's had so many returning players on this year's squad.
He could essentially photocopy last season's lineup as Lewis grounds one sharply to the second baseman, Rosenwasser, down to a knee. Fires over to Bronell-Cuthro for the first out of the ball game. That'll bring up Aiden Wolfson, the catcher.
Now batting for the Maples, number 4, Aiden Wolfson.
Take a look at some of these batting averages for the Maples. Wolfson batting .500. As a team, the Maples are batting .438. Wolfson grounds one to the first baseman. Tough play. Nice job by Luckin to get over.
Textbook defense there, covered nicely by Luckin. And, boy, you get some true bounces on this surface, don't you? Hardly any rocks, very little dirt. Okay, no dirt. A lot of ground-up rubber.
Have yet to see Seaholm's home diamond, but told it's essentially the same surface. Luckin delivers a called strike. Schenfeld, the first baseman. So plenty of lefties in this lineup for head coach John Toth. Luckin kicks and delivers. Slash down the left field line and the foul. Schenfeld quickly in an 0-2 hole. Seaholm won both games a season ago. Schenfeld goes down and gets it. And dribbles one to the second baseman, Rosenwasser. A quick 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Bottom of the first inning, let's meet the starters. For the Falcons, their lineup will bat lead off. Tyler Bronchick, the center fielder, batting second, Stephen Whitted. Batting third, the second baseman, Jake Rosenwasser. Cleaning things up will be the first baseman, Cole Bronell Cuthrell. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Hunter Tengler. Batting sixth, the right fielder, John Ravella. Batting seventh will be the pitcher, Nathan Luckin. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Benji Cook. And the ninth place batter will be Brady Vichazone, the catcher. As for the Maples defense, Colton Kinney will be at third. Grandin Kinney, his twin brother, will be at short. Nick Davis will patrol second base, while Nick Schenfeld will handle first. Logan DeVos will patrol left field. Jack Lewis is out in center, and Jack Kelly will be in right. Aiden Wolfson will handle the catching duties today, and he will be catching Kai McCarron. There's a look at Kai McCarron getting the start in today's ball game. It'll be his first start of the season, second appearance this season.
Fielder number 4, Tyler Bracek.
So Nathan Luckin took care of business in the top half of the first inning, and he worked a perfect 1-2-3 inning on the mound, and now it'll be Kai McCarron's job to keep the Falcons off the scoreboard.
Yeah, and just watching these teams warm up and talking to the coaches, boy, I think Seaholm's got something going on this year. I mean, there's a sort of an air of confidence. You know, Coach Toth was particular about pointing out that he didn't want to be cocky, he didn't want to seem arrogant, but they've got a great team, and they just carry it on like they're expecting to win every game. Doesn't matter who they play. They had a great year last year. They beat the boogeyman, Brother Rice, and they've brought back everybody.
And we talked about a 2-game sweep of Groves last season, a 4-0 shutout victory, and then that wacky 9-7 extra inning game here at Birmingham Groves. Bronchick goes down and golfs it into shallow left field. Coming in, Logan DeVos has it. Kind of battling maybe the sun and a little bit of that breeze out there in left field, but nice job by DeVos to call off Grandin Kinney to make the catch.
Yeah, I'd call it a sturdy breeze. I think that's how we can probably call it. It's not windy per se, but it's going to come into play on a pop-up like that.
Stephen Whitted now at the plate, the shortstop. Terrific ball player. Takes a pitch up and in for a called strike. This is a Groves team that's batting .327 on the season, 81 hits, 18 of which are for extra bases. Whitted carries a .409 average into play today. A bunch of extra base hits for Whitted, 12. Check that, 10 hits total, 6 singles, a double, and 2 triples. So a little bit of out of the ordinary, the fact that he has more triples than doubles. This guy misses outside.
Speaks to his speed, obviously, but I want to credit those orange shoes, too. They just look like they'd be fast.
Whitted goes down, swinging. First strikeout of the ball game. 2 up, 2 down for the Falcons. It'll leave things up to Jake Rosenwasser, the second baseman.
Baseman number 17, Jake Rosenwasser.
Rosenwasser, the hottest bat in this lineup. 643 average, 14 singles to go along with 3 doubles, and oh, by the way, 18 RBI to lead all Falcon batters.
Yeah, that's video game stuff. Incredible line.
It's 2 RBI per game as he watches that pitch miss on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Rosenwasser. Good eye.
Little low.
Karen works out of the stretch, pauses at the belt, and pitch misses high. They'll peel down to first. Field ump says no. I'll say Rosenwasser checked his swing. And will work a walk. First base runner of the ball game comes via a base on balls, and it'll bring up the cleanup man, the first baseman, Cole Bronell Cuthro.
Now batting for the Falcons, number 22, Cole Brunell.
Groves coming off a 10-9 extra innings loss to the Utica Chieftains. That was a game the Falcons had control of, and watch the lead vanish as there's a tap back to the mound. Quick toss over to first. An easy inning outside of the base on balls. We're scoreless after 1 inning of play.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Top of the second inning, Seaholm's 4, 5, 6 batters coming to the plate. Colton Kinney, the third baseman, to lead things off. Rips a ground ball to the shortstop, Whitted. Quickly across the diamond, plenty of time. 1 up, 1 down.
Now batting shortstop, Kenny.
Good defense being played by the infield of the Maples. Nathan Luckin recorded 4 quick outs, all on the ground. True definition of a ground ball pitcher.
That's a ground ball pitcher for you.
Goes into that big wind-up. A lot of moving parts on the mound. Brandon Kinney, the shortstop. Kinney's mainstays not only in the football field but on the diamond. Rolls that ball foul down the third baseline.
To have that kind of skill, to start in baseball and football, and unbelievable. I could bowl. That was about it. I wasn't even very good at running. But these guys, they're gifted. They're blessed. They got skills.
Luckin comes home with the 0-2. Kinney checks his swing. Kind of hanging out in the Falcon dugout prior to the start of today's game. They actually have a pitch-com system that you see in the major league level that allows coaching staff to kind of communicate the pitch selection.
Technology seeps into the game at all levels.
Kyle Stratton, one of the assistant coaches for the Falcons, said the umpire from this weekend said that Groves is one of 2 teams that he knows of that is using the system. But one has to think that will continue to grow as Kinney is plunked. Hit by pitch will send him down to first base. That is the very first base runner of the ball game for the Maples.
That one stung a little. Caught him square, but he's looking right now at his arm. It luckily caught him high above the elbow and sort of in the bicep area. It looks like. We'll take a look here, find out exactly where it hit him. Yeah, right in the muscle. So probably didn't feel good, but no real harm done.
Brings up the left fielder, Logan DeVos. Houston Astros sure changed the game of baseball. I don't know if they changed it for the better. Now having to electronically send in signals.
47 miles per hour.
Can't have anybody banging on trash cans any longer.
Yeah. I don't think they changed it for the better, considering the penalties leveled by Major League Baseball. They didn't take too kindly to it.
Luckin waits a beat before delivering, misses high and away. Don't really think Kinney is a huge threat to steal, but Luckin checking in on him just in case. Uh-oh, nice job by our live truck. Gets us the view of the trash can. No one is banging on trash cans here.
Yeah, and they don't make much of a sound, the plastic ones. You got to get the metal ones. Down the line.
DeVos lifts one. Long run for the right fielder. Ravella runs out of room. It is just a long, loud strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, the count on DeVos. The Seaholm team has just been beating up on the competition this season. Mentioned have just given up 3 runs in their 5 ball games. And oh, by the way, their average margin of victory in those 5 games, 10.8. As DeVos goes down swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Nathan Luckin.
Yeah, that's sort of the definition of domination, I think you could say.
Have a 16-1 win over Harper Woods. Just a 2-0 victory over North Farmington. That's kind of the outlier. And then they came back in Game 2 and beat up North Farmington by a 14-2 margin. And then they got victories over Avondale by the score of 15-0 and 10-0.
Well, that's not a lot of fun if you're Avondale. It's giving in to some pretty good pitching.
A little bit of breaking ball. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Oh, goes with the bare hand and gets Nick Davis by a step. Hunter Tengler goes with the bare hand. Oh, what a play by the third baseman. Pretty baseball here through an inning and a half of play. Falcons coming to bat in the bottom of the second inning.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Bottom of the second inning, and of course, you flash the leather out in the field, and then you lead things off the very next inning. Hunter Tengler, the third baseman, leading things off, fouls one away. Always works out that way, doesn't it?
How many times do we say it? It's over and over again. We see it in the big leagues. We've seen it in our games here.
Tengler, slightly open stance. Hard hit ball to the shortstop, Grandin Kinney. Tengler out by a couple of steps. Story thus far, the pitching for both teams.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, John Ravella.
The only base runners so far in this ball game have come via a walk and a hit by pitch. John Ravella, the right fielder, now batting for the Falcons. 391 average. 3 singles, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 12 driven in. Inside corner for a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Ravella. Nathan Luckin, the pitcher, waits on deck. Then there's the first hit of the ball game, a clean single to right field.
Now batting the pitcher,
Yeah, solid shot out to right.
Nathan Lucken.
And I think there were designs on throwing him out at first. I don't know they would have got him.
Yeah, Jack Kelly came up quickly, and Ravella kind of turned on the jets heading into first base and made the turn. But this is a Groves team that in the past has stolen quite a few number of bases, have been very good this season in stolen base attempts. Are 12 of 15 on the season, 80%. So we'll see. Coach Morrison elects to put some men in motion here. Taking the high hop, Colton Kinney played it perfectly for the second out of the inning. Ravella goes down to second base on the fielder's choice.
A strong throw across the diamond, too. He just sort of launched it and it right on the money. That's a ball player right there.
Colton Kinney, 6'2", 220 pounds. It's always nice to have a quarterback down at third base.
That's true.
Cook swings through and misses on that offering. Benji Cook getting the start out in left field. Colton Kinney not asked to do a lot with his arm in that Seaholm offense on the football field. And he's going to have to make a tough play. A diving attempt by Colton Kinney down at third base. Kinney cuts the ball off, and it'll be an RBI single for Benji Cook. The first run of the ball game belongs to the Falcons.
Well, this was a nice shot down the line, and it was earmarked for that left field line, cut off, but the score runner came around third. He was off the crack of the bat, or the ping of the bat, if you will, and puts the first run of this game on the board.
And Ravella goes sliding in head first. He's fired up. So that's Cook's fifth hit of the year and fifth RBI. You like getting production out of your eighth place batter.
That's huge. When that bottom of that lineup can produce for you like that, it's just really solid. Gives the whole team a boost.
Beaches zone, follows one down the right field line. Sound effects coming from the press box. No car was damaged in the process of that foul ball.
No, I moved. I made sure to park far away today.
Those days are long gone.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe not at the softball field here, but this is the scene of the crime where I lost a rear window one time, years ago.
Beach zone slightly open stance, waves and misses on that breaking ball, but the damage is done. Couple singles. Plates our first runner of the ball game. Falcons lead it 1-0 after 2 innings of play.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
Getting a look at some of the instant offense for the Falcons as they have plated the first run of this ball game and lead it 1-0. Maples coming to bat now in the top of the third inning. Looking for a little bit of a response back now, finding themselves trailing in this ball game 1-0.
Yeah, no matter how many of these games we've called, Brad, over the years, and it's been dozens, there's never a... It's hard to get a feel. Oh!
Hot shot. Tingler couldn't glove it. We'll call it a single off the bat of the DH, Louis Sullivan.
But just to finish my thought, I mean, it feels like there's been games where no runs, inning after inning, maybe one, and then all of a sudden somebody just explodes for 6 or something like that late, you know. So, you know, in other games, it's been back and forth. I mean, we've seen it. It's been all over the board, but one thing's for sure, these two rivals have tremendous respect for each other. I was joking with Coach Toth about the love that exists. He gave me a dirty look about that, but that they do know each other. That's one thing.
Now, I think there is a mutual respect of one another. Seaholm has certainly lived up to their end of the bargain the last couple years. It was a little bit of a one-sided rivalry. Coach Toth has come in and kind of evened things up, so to speak. In terms of the all-time series, Groves leads at 68 wins to 66 losses, and oh, by the way, there was that one tie. So 68, 66, and 1. Groves leads the all-time series.
Well, that's pretty evenly matched. I know when Coach Morrison first got here to Groves, they had some amazing years right out of the box, and of course on the heels, the great Jim Crosby, the legend. And this cupboard was not bare, as they say. He was left the program in great shape for all those years. I heard Pat Caputo on the ticket the other day talking about playing for Jim, which would have been, I guess, back in the 70s. I mean, how long was he here? 40-some years, right?
And Coach Morrison has come in, and they've won 3 district championships within the last 10 years. And when you're talking about a district that has had Brother Rice in it, it's a tough district to win. Brother Rice no longer in the district with Seaholm and Groves. Troy has come over and has joined that ultra-difficult district. So not much of a fall-off, so to speak. Troy, a pretty darn good baseball team.
Yeah, Troy's had some great teams over the years, too.
So Luckin and Vichazong that talk things over. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Louis Sullivan, the base runner, down at first base. Leadoff man Jack Lewis waits on deck. Luckin pauses an extra beat. Comes home with a called strike, and they're going to call a balk. Yeah, there's the slightest bit of hesitation there by Luckin.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Brad. It was in maybe a little more emphasized, I guess, if we look at it in instant replay, but it did have a slight hitch on his delivery. And the umpire called it, and they're, in fact, talking it over right now, the two of them.
So the balk occurred before the pitch was thrown. So it'll allow Louis Sullivan to take second base. I don't know what there is to talk about. Essentially, the pitch wasn't thrown.
Uh-oh. We got drama now.
And now Coach Toth.
Coach Toth not happy, making his point now that, hey, you guys called a balk. Let's stay by that call.
So let's take a look back here and see if we can see it. Pause is here. There's that little bit of a hitch before he delivers the pitch. And you have to remain fluid in your motion towards home. You can't have any sort of hesitation. To me, it was clearly a balk.
John's not buying the explanation. I think it's safe to say he's now in ranting mode. Respectfully so, he's staying outside the line. But the umpire had enough of him. He sent him back to his dugout.
And Coach Toth has to be careful here. He's been given a lot of room to argue, and so they're going to say no pitch. Runner was forced to go back to first. And we'll do it all over again. And
We got
some of the
parents
faithful
adding.
in attendance. Yeah,
the partisans here at Groves Field are adding their 2 cents worth.
And the thought amongst the folks in attendance, the paid spectators, is, well, if you didn't call a balk, then the result is a strikeout, right? It's either one or the other, and apparently we're just going to redo it. It's not too often you see a mulligan, and guess what? Sometimes the ball doesn't lie as Jack Kelly goes down.
I was going to say, is Rasheed Wallace here? He would be yelling ball don't lie right there on that.
Second strikeout of the ball game now for Nathan Luckin. Turns the lineup back over to the top. Jack Lewis now. Grounded out to the second baseman, Rosenwasser, back at the very start of the ball game. Takes a look at a pitch up and away. It's a tough job.
I never know why someone would want to do it, but we need them. We need umpires.
There's a good pitch on the outer half of the plate. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah. Constantly under the microscope, having every single pitch judged. Low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Jack Lewis.
Got to have thick skin, be decisive.
Home plate umpire listened. He allowed Coach Toth to give him an earful.
He did. He gave him a lot of rope there.
Luckin struggling to find the strike zone here. Good hitters count to Jack Lewis. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Jack Kelly, strikeout victim. Lefty loaded lineup for Seaholm. 3-1 misses outside. Second free pass issued by Luckin. And now all of a sudden you're starting to get into that meat of the Maple lineup. Aiden Wolfson now at the plate. 2 on, just 1 out. Sullivan led off the inning with a sharp single. Tangler made a diving attempt down at third, came up empty. Jack Kelly struck out. Now Jack Lewis gets first base via the walk. Wolfson and Schenfeld, the next 2 in this Maple lineup. Strike at the letters. Wolfson didn't quite agree.
Yeah, I think he thought it was a little high, but looked like a good pitch.
Luckin holds the ball behind his back, comes to the belt, glares in at his catcher, and misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I do like the vantage point of this press box, though.
It is nice.
I mean, we are right here, and
we have come a long way, Eddie Aubrey.
We haven't always had the most accommodating vantage points in these here at Groves, but it's a new day. Thanks, Tom Flynn.
And there's a shot into shallow left, going to bounce in front of Benji Cook. Cook comes up firing all the way into home plate. It's a single for Wolfson. It'll load the bases now for Nick Schenenfeld. Maple's making some hard contact. Nick Schenenfeld, one of 4 Maples to be named preseason All-Americans. Both Kinneys received those honors as well as Kyle Robbins. So an opportunity here for the first baseman, Schenfeld, to score the Maples' first run of the ball game. Corner infielders are in. Middle of the infield in double play depth. A Anything hit hard at either corner infielder, one would assume they will come home with it to get the force. Louis Sullivan, the runner, down at third. Jack Lewis at second. A courtesy runner at first for the catcher. Schenfeld fouls one away.
Well, Luckin's been cautious, as he should be, with these bases juiced right now.
Able to operate out of the full windup here with the bases loaded. 1-1 counts on Schenfeld. Called strike on the corner. Ooh, gets some groans from the visiting crowd.
Seaholm Maple fans not in agreement.
Schenfeld, the big smile on his face. That's all he can do is the hitter. Try to shake it off. 1-2 pitch. Schenfeld blasts one to deep right. Up against the wall and over the wall. Grand slam. Home run for Nick Schenfeld. And the Maples have taken a 4-1 lead. Grand slam.
Is that our first grand slam? I don't think we've ever had one. That's an amazing poke. I mean, he got all of this, and it was just a groove, just over the wall, over the S in baseball in that outfield. And we'll get a chance here to take another look at it in a minute, but unbelievable stroke. And just like that, blink of an eye, Seaholm goes from down 1 to up 3, and it's a 4-1 ball game. Still early, but that's why they've enjoyed the success they have this year. They just get timely hitting. They got power. They got everything going for them up and down this lineup, and that was a jack.
You talk about blowing open a baseball game. Look at the base runners. They didn't know it was over the fence.
No, they were running top speed. They didn't have to, though. He was in the home run trot for sure.
Personally, off the crack of the bat, I didn't think it had enough to get over.
Well, it was definitely going to be over the right fielder's head. It was not a for sure home run, but it seemed like it picked up speed, and that wind may have aided it a little bit. It is blowing out to right.
We do have higher fences in right and left field.
Keep yelling at him, guys. It's helping.
Another strange strike call to Colton Kinney. Grounded out to the shortstop, Whitted, back in the second. And he floats one out to right field. Ravella came in, now is forced to go back to make the catch.
Yeah, I think that wind is a factor. It's playing havoc a little bit on that right field. And that's another example where you said he came in at first, but initially had to go back on that ball to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Brings up Grandin Kinney. This is outside. So 4 runs in off of the swing of the bat of Nick Schenfeld on the grand slam. 3 hits in the inning. Another hard hit ball laced down the left field line, but foul. What a magical season a year ago for the Seaholm squad. 29-7, a perfect 11-0 record, a OAA White League championship. They go on and win the district, beating Brother Rice in a sharp single into center field off the bat of Grandin Kinney. And to me, the most impressive thing a season ago, a run differential of plus 190.
They're not winning a lot of one-run games, are they?
That is getting the job done.
Probably none. I doubt they had any to look back on that. But, yeah, that's an impressive stat. That's it's a dominating stat.
I mean, that's winning the majority of your games by over 5 runs. That's just unheard of at this level. And then Coach Toth gets to just run it all back again this year.
Yeah, that is a man who's got the world by the tail right there. He was just calm and cool and collected, and he knows what he's got. He's got a veteran-laced lineup there that's proving once again this year to be a dominant factor in this league, and maybe states. He said it. He says, we want to win the state. That's it. That doesn't, to me, smack of cockiness. It's confidence, and there is a fine line at times, but I think they can afford to kind of set those aspirations.
Mentioned the name Kyle Robbins as one of those preseason All-Americans. Not sure if we will see him pitch at all in this 3-game season series, but he threw a 4-inning Mercy Rule no-hitter a couple weeks ago. So a plethora of talent walking the halls of Seaholm High School.
That's plethora. That is a plethora indeed.
Looking, checks on Grandin Kinney down at first base. Big secondary lead. It's going to draw a throw. Ooh, Luckin thought he had him picked off.
So did I. That was a tremendous move. That lead was just a little bit too far for Kinney over there. You might want to.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit more honest down there now.
He's checking himself on that lead.
And a check swing. I think he went. No.
Oh boy.
Base on balls to Logan DeVos. So 2 base runners now for the Maples, and it'll be Nick Davis. Davis, a ground out victim back in the 2nd. Logan DeVos walks. Now Nick Davis, 667 in the early part of the season. Hard hit ball to the second baseman. Rosenwasser will go over to second and gets the easy out there, but the damage is done. The big swing from the first baseman, Nick Schenfeld, the grand slam, has given the Maples the 4-1 lead. Falcons coming to bat the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Birmingham Groves High School. There's a look at one of the unique features of this home ballpark. All those pennants out on the right field fence. Green pennants noting the league championships, yellow pennants, the district championships, and 2 district championships there in 21 and 22. The Maples winning last season's district championship, so our district winning the last 3 district championships. Pretty impressive stuff.
That is a, I guess you could call it a pedigree of excellence here in Birmingham. And I earlier thanked Tom Flynn for the outstanding upgrades to the athletic facilities, as well as Aaron Frank over at Seaholm. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the wonderful taxpayers of the city of Birmingham, too, who made this all possible. Because passing that bond millage a few years ago that allowed for these
upgrades,
outstanding upgrades, right?
Look out. Foul ball straight back and out of play. Oh, another. Andy, do you know how many baseballs each Major League Baseball team has to provide per game?
I feel like I've heard this number, but I can't. I can't.
156 baseballs per game.
Is that right? Wow. And I've yet to catch one.
108 double stitches, 216 single stitches on a baseball. Back in 1974, they went from horsehide to cowhide.
And the horses were happy.
Never caught a foul ball?
The cows were nervous, though. No, I had one go into my seat one time when I was at the concession stand, I heard.
Colton Kinney makes the toss across and gets Tyler Bronchuk.
Have you caught one?
I have one. It was off the bounce. It actually hit a railing at Comerica Park and bounced into my hands off the bat of Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira, yeah.
Got a little bit of a green mark on it from the bounce off the railing, but I do have a foul ball.
That counts.
Kai McCarron back to work here now with the lead.
So he of the Texas Rangers fame, right?
Yep.
And they are playing the Tigers tonight, even though we're going to be replaying this game you're watching all summer long, I'm sure.
Whitted takes a big hack and misses. You know, back in World War II, the Beano T-13 hand grenade was made into the same size and weight of a baseball with the thought that our soldiers would feel comfortable throwing a hand grenade that felt like a baseball, improve their accuracy and distance. And that hand grenade, the Beano T-13, as Stephen Whitted goes down on strikes, was manufactured by Eastman Kodak, believe it or not.
Huh. How about that? Where sports and war come together. What a thought.
It only makes sense. I mean, every kid, especially in the 1940s, right, grew up throwing a baseball.
That's true. That is facts. That's the way it was. It's not sure if that's still the case today with baseball. There's a hit.
Rosenwasser in the shallow right diving attempt by Jack Kelly comes up empty, loses his hat in the process. So Rosenwasser a single to right field. Terrific attempt by Jack Kelly.
Yeah, he made a nice play. He got a good jump, and the ball was going away from him off the right-handed bat, and it was veering towards the foul line a little bit. He got his glove on it, just couldn't hold on.
Cole Bronell Cuthroll to the second baseman, Nick Davis, for the third out of the inning. Falcons get a single, nothing more. We head to the fourth inning with the Maples in front, 4-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
It'll be 8-9-1, the bat for the Maples in front 4-1. Louis Sullivan leading off for the second straight inning. Singled and came around to score in that 4-run third inning. Tough play. Right fielder Ravella comes in, shields the eyes, and makes the catch. Calls off his second baseman Rosenwasser.
That's a nice play by Ravella. He has a high sky up there, and again, we've spoken about the wind. It's going to be a factor here yet for the rest of this game. It's intermittently gusty.
Ooh, high breaking ball misses up. Jack Kelly, the right fielder, had to duck out of the way. Yeah, the defense so far in this ball game has been terrific. They've made some non-routine plays look fairly easy as this one slashed into shallow right, just out of the outstretched glove hand of Jake Rosenwasser. So Kelly, first hit of the ball game for him. And the top of this Maple lineup coming to bat now once again. Jack Lewis on base once, 0 for 1. Walked and came around to score in the third and grounded off to lead things off back in the first. So Maple's looking for some add-on runs. Pitcher's pitch. The right hand of Nathan Luckin. Aiden Wolfson on deck for the Maples.
It's going to be important for Luckin to keep Seaholm off the board here. We're about halfway through the game. Plenty of time left for his hitters to get going. The grand slam, that's over and done with, but they're only down 3, and if they can get out of this inning unscathed and get another shot at the plate, they will give themselves a chance. But Seaholm will have other designs. They're a team that obviously, as you spoke about earlier, Brad, put a lot of runs on the board, and they trade in blowouts, frankly. So this is an important inning.
This has been a very good Falcons pitching staff coming into play with a 2.08 ERA, giving up 48 hits, 33 runs, just 18 of which are earned. Ball misses in the dirt. Vicha Zone goes down and blocks it. I mentioned they're coming off a 10-9 loss to Utica in extra innings. Their only loss of the season. Perfect 3-0 in OAA white play. They have a win over Utica. 3 wins over Bloomfield Hills, including a 10-0 win. 7-1 victory over St. Clair. A 15-5 win over Berkeley. 7-5 win over Cass Tech as well. Coach Morrison told me they're going to take on a team from Canada this week as well. A little cue job out into center field. Falls in front of Bronchick. So back-to-back base hits for the Maples. They got something cooking here now in the 4th inning.
Now batting, number 4, Aiden Wolfson.
Two runners on, 1 down. Wolfson 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. A single and a run scored. And lofts one behind third base. Going to be a tough play. Stephen Whitted, the shortstop, in full sprint. Hunter Tengler, the third baseman. That was going to be a tough play for him, kind of over the shoulder. Nice job by Whitted to make the sprint over there. Sort of ran out of room. Waited. Seems to be laboring just a little bit as he comes back to a shortstop position.
He has. He's got a hitch in his get-along over there. It looked like he might have maybe pulled a muscle. Like you said, he was on a dead run to make that foul pop-up catch, but couldn't get to it.
Speaking of a hitch in his get-along, I don't know if Coach Morrison told you, but he had off-season knee surgery.
I don't know when he had time for that. He told me about his travel schedule. They were all over. Went to Utah, and went to Texas, and
he had the knee cleaned up, and he says he re-injured it over the weekend. He was walking the dog at Beverly Park, and he says, so if you see me limping out there, that's why. As we get a little bit of a pass ball all the way to the backstop, allows the runners to move up 90 feet. Maybe could have made up a little bit of a more
glamorous story.
Yeah, like a baseball, baseball injury, right?
Saving a runaway stroller or something, into traffic. I don't know, but walking the dog, huh?
So Falcons going to bring the defense in. Nice strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Groves recognizing how important these 2 runners are right now that are on the base paths. They have to do everything in their power to cut that run down. High chopper to the first baseman, fielded in foul territory. So we'll do it all again. Wolfson will be followed by Schenfeld, who had the grand slam home run. Very dangerous bat looms for the Maples. There's a hot shot. Backhand stab by Whitted comes home. The tag is applied. They're going to say safe at the plate.
Well, I don't know how they called him safe. I mean, the ball appeared on time. He didn't drop it. Looked like he'd blocked the plate.
Let's take another look here. Yeah.
Huh.
Jack Kelly, I don't even know if Jack Kelly made contact with the plate. So as you mentioned, Vicha Zone sort of had it blocked.
That's
it was a tough play
let's
by
take a look
Whitted.
again.
And
different angle.
not the greatest of throws.
Well, that
as it
was
kind of
it.
carried Vicha Zone away from the plate. But there you can see Vicha Zone. Ooh, there's the hand that comes in. The left hand came in at the last second. Nice job by our BACB Sports crew. From that angle, you couldn't obviously see the tag, but you could see Jack Kelly's left hand stretch across the plate.
Yeah, you know, if anything, I think that play developed a little slowly. It was not hit particularly hard, so it was a bit of a dribbler. Whitted came in, fielded it cleanly, threw it a little high, as you alluded to, Brad, and I think that may have been the culprit for the safe call. So the Maples put a 5th run up, and this is what they do to you. They just sort of slow, methodical bleeding out is what seems to be going on in their game plan today here, with Groves sort of hanging on at the moment.
So we'll say it was a fielder's choice. We'll give Wolfson the RBI. Do you think that's fair?
I'd say.
So we'll give Wolfson the RBI. We'll call it a fielder's choice. Foul tip at the plate. Schenfeld stays alive. Runners on the corners, just one down. It was a tough play by Whitted, fielding that ball on the backhand. Took a little bit of a short hop, maybe rushed his throw just a bit. Vicha Zone did a terrific job of not only blocking the plate, but fielding the throw, and apparently could not bring the tag down in time.
And Vicha Zone took that foul tip off of his forearm, and he is in a considerable amount of pain at the moment. It looked like it might have glanced off his elbow. Didn't seem overly obvious in real time, but as he went back to field the ball that came off the backstop, it looked like he was really in some discomfort, but he's shaking it off a little bit. And the partisan crowd here, both sides actually, give him a round of applause as he gets his war gear back in there and on him, and we're ready to go.
Probably just trying to get, feeling back to the fingertips. For a catcher, obviously, it's important. Evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brunel Cuthrell keeping the runner at first base honest. They're holding him at first. Pretty much a straight-up infield defense here for the Falcons. Almost appears they're kind of conceding that run down at third.
Well, they need to get out of this inning, and they'll take an out anywhere they can get it at the moment.
Benji Cook, the left fielder, is deep. Couple steps in front of the track. Runner takes off. It's base on balls to Schenefeld. Take another look here at Vicha Zone, taking that foul tip.
Here it is. Nope.
That was the last pitch. And Missed out.
There it is. That's the pitch there. That was the one. He didn't really react right away, so it's hard to see that anything necessarily. Oh, there he is. Now he's looking down and grabs his elbow. So 1 out.
Base is loaded, though.
Yeah.
Chock full of Maples. Big opportunity for Colton Kinney to blow this game wide open. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. Grounded out to the shortstop, Stephen Whitted in the second. Flew out to the right fielder, Ravella, in the third. That ball skips in front. Beach's zone. Nice job keeping it in front of him. Could we see 2 grand slams in one game?
Well, it's happened before, but not in the games that we've called.
And they'll whip it around the horn. No! Throw is not good by Beach's zone.
Hit him in the backside.
So they get the lead runner. They cut him down at the plate. Fielder's choice goes 5-2. Get the force at home, and now umpire's going to come together. Or what are they going to talk about? Base runner interference? No, I don't think so.
I don't know what they're talking about there. Here's the play, this last play, the near double play, and actually a good throw would have gotten them out of this inning. It hit the runner in the back, and we are still playing ball here with 2 outs now. In the 4th inning, 1 run in, score 5-1.
Fernando Tatis, 2 grand slams in the same inning back in 1999. That...
2 grand slams in 1 inning.
By the same player.
8 RBIs in 1 inning. That's
that is a major league record for RBI in 1
I would
inning.
assume so. You'd think so, right?
Did it for the St. Louis Cardinals. Whitted went down. Oh! He gloves it over to Rosenwalker at second base. What a heads-up play by Stephen Whitted, staying with that play. 1 run scratched across by the Maples. Falcons looking for some instant offense, find themselves trailing 5-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Bottom of the 4th innings, Maples in front 5-1. They get that add-on run there, Andy, but that inning could have been a lot worse for the Falcons.
A lot worse, and we mentioned at the beginning of that inning, they needed to kind of keep it close, and considering all the base runners Seaholm had that inning, to only have allowed 1 run was quite a accomplishment for Luckin. So they're still in this thing. They need some base runners, though, and they got to get some hits and some instant offense.
Tengler to lead things off, 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop, Grandin Kinney. And pops one up to the first baseman, Schenfeld.
Just not a lot of hard hit balls for this Falcon offense today. It's been slim pickings. Credit the Seaholm pitching on that, keeping the guys off balance.
Schenfeld, a terrific pitcher, as this one glances off the second baseman, Nick Davis's glove. I'm going to call that one an error.
Now batting.
So it puts John Ravella on base.
Well, you're a very generous official scorer, but let's take another look at it if we can. looked like it was really like it was definitely headed for the outfield off the bat, but kind of died and did look like a play could have been made on that. And nonetheless, we have Groves with runner on first and 1 out, and the pitcher Luckin is up to the plate. He can help his cause here with a big poke.
So are you suggesting I change the official score to a base
No,
hit?
you can't change it. You got to go with your gut.
Luckin fouls one away. So we mentioned Nick Schenfeld, terrific pitcher. If you remember correctly, he threw those back-to-back no-hitters last season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
He's down at first base here in game 1 of this 3-game season series. Luckin trying to help his own cause. Don't get to see pitchers bat anymore in Major League Baseball. I like the rule change. I like the designated hitter across both leagues, especially now that there's so much interleague play with the even amount of teams in the American League and National League, so you're always seeing interleague play. I think it's only right that we've gone to a universal DH.
It should have happened long ago. It's been painful watching these pitchers try to bat in the American League when they played in Ashley Park all those years. And what was really a disgrace was in the playoffs when that would happen. To me, that was just really ridiculous. So yeah, it's a good time that finally we got there. Everybody's on the same page.
Pitch misses low. Three hits in the ball game for the Falcons. 1 run back in the second. They took the early 1-0 lead. Big blast of the ball game belonging to Schenfeld. Bases clearing grand slam in that 4-run third inning. We mentioned the Maples added on a run in the fourth and lead it 5-1. Breaking ball slammed into left center field. That'll get down. Tangler took the turn at second base and holds. Check that Ravella runner at second base.
Now batting for your Falcons, the left fielder, state champion Benji Cook.
So Gibson will be the courtesy runner for the pitcher Luckin.
Courtesy runner for Luckin.
That's not a rule change in Major League Baseball. We haven't gotten that far yet. No
What's
courtesy
that?
runners.
Courtesy runner? No, we haven't seen that.
We've seen the ghost runner in extra innings, which, as a baseball purist, I hate.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's dumb. That's a terrible thought. That ghost runner thing. I also liked when we did have pitchers batting, though, and they'd get on base, they'd bring about a jacket to run in.
To keep them warm.
Yeah, right.
That was really necessary, right? Got to keep their arms warm.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah,
apparently.
just when they're on the base pass, right?
Yeah.
How about the shortened double headers during COVID? We tried that too at the major league level.
Yeah.
It was a different time, wasn't it, during COVID?
Way back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget
What was it? It was 7-inning double headers,
I'd like
wasn't
to
it?
try and forget it, but yeah, I think there was.
And the ghost runner stuck around. I don't know how or why, but played baseball for over 100 years and didn't need ghost runners in extra innings. Cook slashes one. It's going to be a tough play for the center fielder. Lewis comes in, battles the sun and breeze to make the catch. Second out of the inning, and it'll be Brady Vichazone. The catcher was a strikeout victim in his lone plate appearance. Kind of get the sense that this is a big point in this ball game for the Falcons.
Well,
An opportunity here to score.
Yeah, it's a great point by you. They have not had a tremendous amount of opportunities. To have a couple base runners here, and you really feel like they need to cash in to keep it close.
Breaking ball tapped back to Kai McCarron. Over to first. Falcons threaten, but do not score. 4 innings in the books with the Maples in front, 5-1.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
6, 7, and 8 coming to bat for the Maples. Logan DeVos to lead things off. Check swing. He went. Logan DeVos, open stance.
Yeah, they call that a ball, which is surprising. It
No,
looked like
the,
a full
the,
cut.
no,
to me.
yeah, the home plate umpire said strike.
Oh,
he said he
okay.
went around.
All right.
Yeah, no balls, 1 strike. Nathan Luckin back up on the bump. Start his 5th inning of work. Has been good. Just gave up the big blast.
Yeah,
Nick Schenfeld.
Exactly, Brad. If you back out that grand slam. Of course, it's easy to say, but he's been solid. I think he's
good breaking ball there.
Hanging in there.
These two teams see each other a lot. They will see each other in district play as well. And then it kind of becomes this sort of balancing act as Logan DeVos looks at 1 too many, goes down looking. Second strikeout for Logan DeVos. 3rd strikeout of the game for Nathan Luckin. So it kind of becomes this balancing act of, well, which pitcher do you want to show the other team, and do you want to keep your ace in districts? And, you know, it's kind of a funny kind of line to toe, so to speak. It'll be interesting, as we pointed out, if we do see Schenfeld in one of these ball games this season. Although, from the stats I have, he has yet to toe the rubber. The Kinneys have pitched, as well as Robbins. Hard hit ball to Whitted. Fields it. Fires across the diamond to get Davis. 2 up, 2 down. Davis 3 ground outs now, and Andy's grounded out to the 3rd baseman. He's grounded out to the 2nd baseman, and now has grounded out to the shortstop. So we'll see if he can go around the horn. Maybe in his next at-bat he will ground out to the first baseman.
Yeah. Was it the cycle?
Yeah,
ground out cycle?
The reverse cycle, right?
Yeah.
Pitch misses away to Louis Sullivan. Single came around to score in that 4-run 3rd. 1 for 2 in the ball game. If you're looking ahead to the home half of the 5th inning, it'll be the top of the order for the Falcons. Bronchick, Whitted, and Rosenwasser coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Sullivan, that close stance. You don't see that typically. Front foot pointing towards right field. You also don't see a 2-0 curveball too often. Another breaking ball. Check swing by Sullivan. Home plate umpire said he offered. So it'll be deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Sullivan reaches out, stays alive. Good crowd in attendance here on what is a absolutely perfect day for baseball. This would have been a good day to play 2.
Could have played 2. Could have played 2.
There's that high strike. Sullivan, the 2nd strikeout victim of the inning, gives Luckin 4. We will head to the home half of the 5th inning. with the Falcons trailing 5-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And it's becoming crunch time now for these Falcons.
Yeah, time's running short for the men in green down there, so they're going to have to make hay while they can here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Tyler Bronchick, center fielder, to lead things off. Takes a look at a couple of strikes.
I notice this umpire is very liberal with his outside calls. He's calling a lot of strikes on that outside edge.
Outside edge in the top half as well. But you got to adjust as a hitter. Certainly keeping this game moving along.
Well, not that much.
Aiden Wolfson tried to drag that pitch back into the strike zone.
Yeah.
Nice frame job there, but didn't quite get the call.
That's what a catcher's supposed to do.
Certainly an art to framing pitches. Can't oversell it.
No, because then you're trying to make the umpire look bad.
Show him up a little
look
bit.
foolish. Yeah, so that's no good either.
There's a look at our home plate umpire today. Falcons have left 5 on base, and Bronchick goes down. Strikeout.
Now batting for the Falcons.
4th strikeout of the ball game.
21.
Stephen Whitted has 2 of the 4. Kai really hasn't overpowered this Falcon lineup. He's kind of throwing to contact, but it's limited the damage. 4 hits for the Falcons. They've left 5 on base.
Yeah, and the contact that he has forced has not exactly been all that powerful. It's been some dribblers and some pop-ups, and it's kept him off balance.
Just 2 flyouts. Bronchick flew out to the left fielder to start the game, and then Benji Cook flew out to the center fielder. Neither ball was hit real hard as another dribbler over to the second baseman, Davis. Makes a quick toss to Schoenfeld. 2 up, 2 down. And it'll lead things up to Jake Rosenwasser.
Now batting number 17, the second baseman, Jake.
Jake does have one of the 4 Falcon hits in the ball game. So the Falcon offense has yet to hit a home run. Talked about their 18 extra base hits on the season. Chest high bounce to Davis, and another 1-2-3 inning. We've played 5. The score remains 5-1 Maples.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/older adults.
Pitching change now for the Groves Falcons and Shenfield into the ball game. 4 innings pitched. Made 2 starts this season, 0-0 record. Has given up just 1 hit. 5 runs, however, just 1 of which was earned. He has walked 9 batters, struck out 7, and has a 1.75 ERA. When you look at those stats, just the 1 hit allowed, but the 5 runs, you got to look at the 9 base on balls. So control maybe a little bit of a factor when it comes to our new pitchers and Shenfield.
Well, his first pitch went to the backstop, so that's not a very smooth beginning, but he'll get it together.
9-1-2 to bat here for the Maples. Jack Kelly leads things off. 1 for 2 in the ball game, a single and a run scored. Pitch misses inside. Runs a count to 3 balls, no strikes. Scheinfeld operates from the far third base side of the rubber. Comes home with the windup. Pours that one right down Woodward for a called strike. Jack Lewis on deck for the Maples. And there is another base on balls.
Now batting.
Well, he missed inside on all of those that were balls. He's got kind of a violent motion as he throws. He's really kind of throws his whole body into the pitch. But he has got a task ahead of him with these Seaholm hitters that are coming up in the next couple slots.
It's leadoff man Jack Lewis, been on base a couple times already in this ball game. 1 for 2. It was a single back in the 4th inning. Another pitch out of the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Game 2 tomorrow, right back here at Birmingham Groves. The 3rd game will be played at Seaholm in a couple days. It works out perfectly. When I saw the schedule, I thought, oh no, we got baseball in kind of early mid-April. That's not good, right? We played all those games last year in May towards the tail end of the season, but boy, oh boy, it just works out perfectly with the weather.
Yeah, today's been great. Tomorrow should be fine. They're not going to be quite as warm, but no precipitation. They're saying rain on Wednesday, which is our off day, so hopefully it'll clear out of there by the Thursday game. Hoo-hoo.
Pitcher's pitch
Yeah,
on the outer black.
Ump loves that outside.
Full count. See if they put Jack Kelly in motion here. Field steps off. Got a bird of prey.
I know. What is that
circling
thing?
the field?
I thought it was an airplane. It was an actual bird. Came flying across the field, and it looked like cast quite a shadow. It was either a hawk or maybe a falcon.
So we'll get a look here at Shenfield's motion. Whips that arm down and kind of gives it an extra little twirl at the end. Back-to-back walks, and now Aiden Wolfson squares around to bunt. The ball heads all the way to the backstop. Wild pitch. Puts 2 runners now in scoring position for the Maples. Beach's zone wisely comes out and tries to settle his pitcher down.
Yeah, this is a pivotal moment. I mean, 5-1, you can still feel a comeback, but with nobody down and runners on second and third for Seaholm, it kind of feels like a big inning on the horizon here for Seaholm.
Yeah, 4-run deficit still within striking distance. Whitted has to go over to first to get the force there. So fielder's choice RBI, second in the ball game for Wolfson. Jack Kelly comes around and scores. Jack Lewis moves all the way down to third base. 1 away, 1 run in. They'll draw the infield defense in now. Nick Schenfeld, 1 for 2 in the ball game. The big blast, however, the grand slam home run back in the 3rd. Jack Kelly just wanted to get down and dirty, huh?
Yeah, he
had
needed to
first
get
slide into home.
Crunched up rubber on his uniform.
Old school Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose slide in a home plate. balls, 1 strike. Schenfeld in front of his helmet, dirty. Blast one to straightaway center field. Bronchick goes all the way back to the warning track. It one hops the fence for a ground rule double. A lot of pop in that bat. Whoa.
That ball just kept going and going and going, and it looked like it was going to get caught. It really looked like it was marked for a great catch at the wall, but was not to be, and Seaholm puts their 7th run of the board across.
5th RBI now for Schenfeld. 2nd hit of the ball game. 3rd time he has reached base. And when I say this was straightaway center, it was straightaway center, the deepest part of the ballpark. And Bronchick kind of maybe get the sense that he realized the warning track was below his feet. He knew the wall was probably coming up on him in short time and kind of short-armed that ball in center field, kind of maybe anticipating the worst.
Yeah, that's what happened, because he get caught up to it. He had it. It looked like he was going to get under it in time, but he didn't. Just sort of reached up real quick to snatch it, and it may have caught some of his glove, but it did bounce and go over the wall.
So we'll call it a double. Credit the Maples with these add-on runs, just chipping away, coming up with big clutch hits. I mentioned their 2 wins a season ago over the Falcons. That first ball game was just a straight-up 4-0 win, thanks in large part to Nick Schenfeld. He got the start in that 4-0 victory. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he went the distance. And then that wacky game that was played here that went into extra innings, 9-7. There was some strange plays, if you remember correctly, out in the field. We had a wind-aided pop-up that came down, and so you look at Colton Kinney striking out for the 2nd out of the inning. Brandon Kinney cuts, fouls one back.
Seems appropriate. They're back-to-back in the lineup, right?
Yep, next to each other out in the field as well. Colton Kinney down at 3rd, Grandin at shortstop. They got the left side of the infield covered.
Once upon a time, they were real close to each other.
Some 18 years ago, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Colton, the QB on the football field. Grandin Kinney, sort of the quarterback of the defense at the shortstop position. Breaking ball. Ooh, Vicha's zone. Thought it was strike 3. Popped up out of his catcher's crouch. Was kind of bouncing towards the third base dugout.
I don't really blame him. They've been getting that call most of the day. This umpire's been pretty generous with the strike call on that outside edge, but not on that pitch.
This one misses up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Number 22 at the plate. 2 runs in. Any other deuces out there, Andy?
That's enough for now. It's a lot, though.
And a swing and a miss. 2nd strikeout of the inning, but 2 runs in. Maples extend the lead, 7-1. Falcons coming to bat, needing some runs.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Part of the Falcon lineup coming to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is getting Lead awfully early here for the Falcons. Trailing 7-1. Been held to 4 hits. McEachran, starting pitcher, has really done a nice job of limiting this Falcon offense. Right on cue. So now Cuthrell goes down swinging.
The third baseman, number 10, Hunter Tangler.
5 strikeouts now in the ball game for Kai. Getting a lot of production out of your starting pitcher today, and he's not really seen as your ace. Was kind of a relief pitcher a season ago, kind of a late innings guy for Coach Toth. Hunter Tangler looking for his first hit of the ball game. 0 for 2, takes a called strike. Had to lift the arms up and out of the way. Lone run scored back in the 2nd inning. Ravella single came around to score on a single by Benji Cook. The only Falcon run of the ball game. Good breaking ball. Oh, Nelly. Good old Uncle Charlie.
Froze him.
Falcons, number 5, the right fielder.
Back-to-back strikeouts. John Ravella singled and scored. We mentioned that. Also reached on an error. Big swing and a miss. Well, fouls that one back, rather. Scheduled for 7 innings. Schoenfeld goes down to make the play from his knee at first base. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Head to the 7th inning with the Maples in front, 7-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Logan DeVos, the left fielder, to lead things off. Schoenfeld back to work on the mound. 2nd inning for the reliever. Big cut there and a miss by Logan DeVos. Seaholm looking to keep the perfect start intact. Coming into play this afternoon with that perfect 5-0 record. Falcons 8-1 on the young season. DeVos 0 for 2, has been on base once via the walk. And takes a look at one too many there. Groves pitching staff has combined for 7 strikeouts in this ball game. Here's Nick Davis. We mentioned he's been victimized by the ground ball. He grounded out to the 3rd baseman in the 2nd, grounded out to the 2nd baseman into the 3rd, and grounded out to the shortstop back in the 5th. So he's going to roll one down to Bronell Cuthrell at first, right?
We'll see.
Had plans for it, going the opposite way. asks for time and is given it. Swings and cuts through that high fastball. You know, Davis's eyes got big at that offering. Possible to lay off. There's a great vantage point, kind of what we see, Andy.
Yeah, that's it's pretty close.
Mike Kottmeyer right next to us here along the press box, operating the camera.
A pro's pro.
And he's swinging a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Greg Black directing today, and we welcome him back. He hasn't been calling the shots in quite some time.
No, we haven't had Greg in a minute. It's good to see him around.
Congratulate him and his wife on welcoming their second child. High and inside. Greg Black, a big baseball fan.
Well, you know, it's sort of, we work these other sports throughout the fall and winter, and we get to baseball, and it's like, spring is here.
Jam job. Louis Sullivan grounds one to the first baseman, Bronell Cutthrow. 1-2-3 inning as Shenfield comes in and shuts the door on the 7th inning. Home half of the 7th inning. Last chance opportunities for the Falcons. They trail by 6.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/older adults.
7, 8, 9, bottom third of the Falcon lineup coming to bat.
Well, it all starts with the first base runner, Brad. We got to get these Falcons need to get somebody on, and if you're Seaholm, you just want to play solid ball, fundamental ball, make the play in front of you. Take this one home and try to come back again tomorrow and do it.
And this game has kind of followed the script for the Maples this season. Kind of beating this drum, but they've only given up now 4 runs in 6 games as this pitching staff has just been dominant. It's Luckin goes down looking. Seventh strikeout of the ball game. And it brings up Benji Cook.
Now batting for the Falcons, the left fielder, number 7, Benji Cook.
Umpire wanted to go up with the right hand, and I think Aiden Wolfson was caught off guard. I think he thought it was a strike as well. Cook swings through it. 4 Falcon hits in the ball game. 2 hits in the second inning led to their only run of the ball game as Cook goes down, dribbles one to the second baseman. Davis eats him up.
That's the short hop that did it to him. It was a sort of a slow roller. It looks like it was going to be easy and out number 2, and instead it went off his glove. And Falcons have a little life here with an out in the bottom of the 7th.
And it's their first base runner since the 4th inning. Middle innings were not kind to this Falcon offense. 9th place batter Brady Vichazone at the plate now. Looks down at his head coach Sean Morrison. Coach just claps his hands. Not much needs to be said here in the 7th inning. Vichazone goes down. Slow roller to Colton Kinney at third. Little hop, skip, and a jump. Fires across the diamond. Gets beats his own by a couple of steps, and it will lead things up to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Bronchik.
And that last play was not easy either. Another short hop, at this time fielded cleanly, and the throw across the diamond for the second out. And there it is here. Charging, picks it up. Again, that's where this artificial turf's your friend, actually. Nice true hop into the mitt.
I've been impressed by both defenses.
You really, yeah, it has been a very cleanly played game. Not a lot of errors, nothing.
Bronchik goes down and gets it down the left field line. RBI single for the center fielder. Plates the second Falcon run of the ball game. They've pulled within 5. They trail 7-2.
Now batting the shortstop, number 21, Steven.
So the error on Nick Davis comes back to bite the Maples just a bit.
Gee, they gave up their 5th run of the year. That's rough.
Another base hit to left field, this time by Stephen Whitted. And the left fielder, Logan DeVos, trouble getting it back into the infield. So it's a double for Stephen Whitted, back-to-back hits. And don't look now, but a little bit of a 2-out rally here for Groves.
Well, if Groves can pull a base hit out here, a couple runs will probably score. And suddenly you're looking at a 7-4 ball game, and that's exactly what Coach Toth is imparting the wisdom to his team right now at the pitcher's mound. Hey guys, let's get your head in it here, and we got one more out to get, and you want to, if you're him, you don't want to give the Falcons any false confidence, sense of hope, whatever it is, but they've had a couple of nice at bats. They've put a solid inning together here. This is all going out with 2 outs at the moment, but hey, you never know. It's a funny game.
Pepper in left field. That was an opposite field base hit for Stephen Whitted. Now, what do they always say? Toughest out to get is that 21st out. Right?
Every single game. That's right, no matter how hard or how far ahead you are.
Pitch misses low. Aiden Wolfson held on to that ball for at least 3 beats longer than he normally does.
Yeah.
Trying to make a point, I believe. Breaking ball inside. Ooh, boy. Spins Rosenwasser out of the way. 2 balls, no strikes on the second baseman. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's been on base twice. Good bat right in the middle of this Falcon offense. Perhaps the best bat in this Falcons offense. 3-0 count. Does he have the green light here?
I don't think so. I think you're going to make him throw it over the plate. There it is.
Taking all the way for called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Ah, you should have swung at it. It was right down the middle.
Bronchik, the runner, at third. Stephen Whitted at second. There's a walk to load the bases. Cole Bronell, Cuthrell, the first baseman.
Jack Stillwagon.
That's going to be Stillwagon to pitch hit. Jack Stillwagon, 10th plate appearance
of
the season.
Came out swinging.
167 average.
Oh, Stillwagon didn't like the call. It was inside. He had to back away. It was called a strike. Now it Groves down to their last strike.
And he checks.
No.
Did not go.
Ooh. Little high.
So can Stillwagon turn around and come up with the big clutch hit here in the 7th off the bench, and it's a blooper into left field. 2 runs in. They'll hold the runner at second base, so it's a pinch hit, 2 RBI single for Stillwagon, and the Falcons still have some
Batting
hopes.
for the Falcons, the third baseman, number 10, Hunter Tangler.
So Hunter Tangler comes up to the plate now, 0 for 3. He's due. Some of the Falcons in attendance have the rally caps on. 3 runs across here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Falcons still trail by 3. 7-4 our score. 2 downs. Tangler, a little check swing, a little excuse me job, and that's going to fall in. And the runner goes down to third, and he's going to be cut down there at third base, or is he? Umpire asks to see the baseball, and they're going to call him out. Now he's going to ask the home plate umpire. Not a great sell job by Colton Kinney. I think if he would have popped up and run off the field, I think he would have been able to sell that a little bit better. The Maples are going to celebrate.
Well, that's the question. The ball was there on time, and I'm stunned that he actually went to third, but Stillwagon, that is. However, if the ball was dropped, and I think that's what they're discussing, did the tag get laid on him, and was he able to hold the ball?
Now this is, oh,
He's
now they're going
safe.
to call him safe. Wow.
We got a ball game. This thing is still going.
So it's an RBI single for Tangler. Stillwagon somehow gets over to third base. He was dead to right.
Oh, he was a dead duck. There was no way, and the ball beat him there. But you got to hold on to it. So
Ravella will be at the plate. He is the 9th Falcon to bat in the inning. Runners on the corners. Now all of a sudden the tying run is at first base. Big secondary lead down there for Hunter Tangler. And now they'll hold him on. Schenfeld was playing off the bag. Now they're going to hold him on. That's a big run down there at first base. Got to keep him honest. Ravella slams one to straightaway center. Coming in, Jack Lewis makes the sliding game-saving catch in center field, and that will do it. The Falcons put up a little bit of a fight in the bottom of the 7th inning, push across 4 runs, but it's not enough as they go down by the final score of 7-5. Andy, I know you'll have our player of the game interview, so while I have you up here in the broadcast booth, your final thoughts here on game 1 of a 3-game set. Final score 7-5.
yeah, it's turned into a ball game here at the end. And Groves, let's give them credit. They didn't lay down. They were had some fight in them right there at the end, and that ball drops in there, and suddenly you're at a 1-run game. So this sets up very nicely for tomorrow and our games the rest of this week. I can't wait. Looking forward to both of those.
Groves falls to 8-2 on the season. Seaholm improves to 6-0. We'll take a final break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, it'll be our player of the game interview and some post-game coverage. You do not want to miss it. We'll be right back here on BACB Sports.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back one final time to Birmingham Groves High School. Your final score of the Seaholm Maples 7, the Groves Falcons 5. Our very own Andy Aubrey is alongside our BACB Sports player of the game, Nick Schenfeld, who ended up going 2 for 3 in the ball game, but had the big grand slam home run. Andy, take it away.
Well, thank you, Brad. We are down here now with our BACB Sports player of the game, number 18, Nick Schenfeld, for the Seaholm Maples. Big win for you guys. It wasn't easy at the end, though.
No, it was close. Down to the wire.
Yeah, talk about the end. Let that last inning. What happened?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, our pitcher was going the whole game. He threw a great game. And, I mean, they just put some hits together, and they fought. They fought to the end, but we were able to take it, and it's a good win, and let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be setting up nice for you. Now, you had the big blow of this game, a grand slam, and I asked you beforehand, first grand slam or what?
Yeah, first grand slam of my high school career. It was exciting. It was
a poke. I think the wind helped you a little. Nothing wrong with that. But, it was one of those balls that just kept going and going and going, and he ran out of space, and it went into the opposite field. So at that point, we felt like the game was firmly in you guys' control, but they didn't give up at any point, and which you can, and that's a Sean Morrison coach team for you. What was Coach Toth saying to you guys as you kind of nursed that 7-1 lead?
I mean, he just told us to keep fighting and keep going and keep doing what we're doing and keep throwing strikes, getting outs, and eventually we won the game. So.
A couple controversial calls in this one. We're going to hope for a different battery of umpires tomorrow. Is that?
I mean, yeah, they're doing their best, but got to give them credit. But yeah, a few calls could have gone our way or their way. But yeah.
Strike zone. He was giving you guys the outside. He was giving the pitcher strikes, which, from where our vantage point is here on this field, was pretty generous. Yeah. But I'm going to be everybody's friend too, so I'm not going to hear it. And like you say, they're doing their best. All right, so let's finish up by talking about your team this year. You guys got something special going on.
Good ride. Yeah, senior year, we're going to finish strong, and I'm excited for the run we can make. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You're going to continue the mission tomorrow. Back here again on their field, and we'll see you again Thursday. But congratulations to you on a tremendous hit, Nick. And you had a great day at the plate, and your team as well. You're undefeated. Best of luck moving forward, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. We'll wrap it up from down here, and we're going to send it back up to Brad in the booth to send us home.
All right, big congratulations, Nick Schenfeld, our BACB Sports Player of the Game. 2 big hits, including the Grand Slam home run and RBI ground rule double. 5 RBI in the game, a 2-for-3 performance at the plate. Ended up reaching base 3 times as he also was able to work a base on balls. The Seaholm Maples improved their overall record to 6-0 on the season. Groves Falcons fall to 8-2 overall. Once again, your final score from Birmingham Groves High School. The Seaholm Maples 7, the Groves Falcons 5. This was game 1 of 3. We'll be bringing you the sights and sounds all week long. In fact, we'll be back at it tomorrow. For my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, our director, Greg Black, and the rest of our hardworking BACB Sports crew, I'm Brad Fetter saying so long. We'll see you next time right here on BACB Sports.